Oh, yeah, this is a big one. You want to introduce it?
Chris Wright has been on a tear lately in the Xfinity Series.
Oh.
So he started out in Daytona, where allegedly he's saying his throttle hung.
No. He got out and said his spotter basically told him.
No, look at the screenshots of his tweets.
Long info.
Look at the screenshot that Josh put in the
third screenshot. The story has changed, Parker.
The story has continually changed. I also heard that some people think he pushed the clutch instead of the brake at one point in that.
But he's saying on Twitter now that his throttle was hung.
Okay.
So his throttle was probably hung after he hit the car because it...
Yeah. And it's that young man has not had a very easy or has not shown a lot of competitiveness in stock cars. I'm just going to flat out put it out there. And the Xfinity Series is a very competitive series. The cars are very hard to drive. And he's racing around, when you get to those the mid pack of the Xfinity Series and even towards the back of the pack, there's a lot of teams that are doing this professionally and drivers are doing it professionally who, that's the best equipment they can get in via their funding and whatever it is. But they're professional drivers. So, they're not going to cut you a break or anything like that to learn or to figure this out. In, if you start running into people back there, it's a bad look because those teams can't afford those kinds of wrecks. They can't afford the damage. They're just trying to do the best they possibly can. And, it seems like he and Bicki have had some run-ins in the first three races. And I'm gonna err on the side of Bilicki's a bit more experienced. He's shown a lot of speed. He's run up front when he was driving those Joe Gibbs cars. That's most likely is probably leaning towards there's if you're having these multiple run-ins, sometimes you have to look in the mirror, right? And say, okay, what's the common denominator here? And I think for Chris, that would definitely be something that would benefit him to do. The terms of the deal at Daytona and all the changing stories.
He needs to fire his spotter. Common denominator is he's probably had the same spotter every time.
I know his spotter very well.
Who's the spotter?
It's Keith Barnwell.
Get him out of there.
Poor Keith.
I love Keith. No, Keith. Well, first of all, they both need to look in the mirror.
Okay.
Because you're only responsible for your own car.
Good point.
You're responsible for your own car. Now, I like what you were saying about the drivers and professionals because there is, you get a guy like Chris who's like kind of flown in part-time, flown out. Is he racing full-time right now?
He's full-time.
It seems like he's full-time right now. So obviously he's trying to make it as a, but Josh Bicki is a professional race car driver. He's a pro. So, there is a level of, I don't know what their multiple run-ins have been. I think it started at Atlanta. And what did they have at COTA?
Well, it started at Daytona when he ran into him, in that unfortunate deal getting on pit road. Then Atlanta, it seems like they had a run-in as well. And then COTA, I didn't fully understand what happened at COTA. We didn't have it. I'm sure we'll take it up at some point. But they had some sort of run-in that caused this Twitter beef. And now it's public. So they're going at it.
So let me reset a little bit. You know what? I'm going to have respect for whoever's in the series, bringing money, raising their money, getting themselves in cars, however they want to do it. I guess I want to level set that and say that we all, Chris Wright deserves all of our respect for that. He's there. He's got the license. NASCAR approved him. He's racing. And I do think it's on every one of those drivers. You know my philosophy. You are responsible for your own car. So that goes down to Josh Bicki and Chris Wright having a tickle fight on Twitter over it. I don't like excessive blaming of someone else. If you can point it out or make a well articulated conversation with your colleague or peers over what's happened, that's fine. But too much blaming just ends up sounding like blaming.
Yeah.
But then that goes the other way too. Like with Chris, this whole throttle hung, spotter, you chopped me here. Nuh-uh. I was there. No, it's like, well, you both. So
I'm with you.
like,
I think there's obviously multiple sides to every story as well. And the other side to it is the racing is the art of trying to take real estate from the other car at certain times and places. And so that will, without a doubt, especially in stock car racing, equal disagreements on how that real estate was acquired versus where you placed your race car and what they were doing versus what you were doing. And that's always going to be a discussion. I do agree with you that when it becomes one of those things where people type to pile on and pile on and pile on, then I start to say, okay, well, wait, what else is going on here? You're right. So I think we'll see as we go to a normal racetrack at Phoenix, if these two can avoid each other. I actually don't know if Bilicki's entered for this weekend yet.
Let me check.
See if he's there, Josh.
I will.
Thank you.
You can carry on while I figure
But
this
if
out.
he's not, then they can't run into each other. So it's solved. We missing anything from Xfinity?
He will be there.
He
both
will be.
there.
All right. So we'll all be watching. We got two sets of beef. We got the beef at the front, the beef in the mid pack. Let's see how it goes.